Andrea, and this is Geeky Girls Journal. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you are having a wonderful day to this point. Today is October 24th, 2024, and it's a great day to have a great day, you guys. As I always say, if you are new here, thank you so much for clicking this thumbnail or just joining this live stream. I appreciate you taking the time out to come in. Make sure you come in, like, comment, engage, engage, engage. We love it. We love your engagement, so make sure you come in. Hey, Bud Files, how are you today? Thank you for coming in. How are you? Good morning. I love that little picture there. Yeah, I can see it a little bit. It looks like it's a sun. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm glad you came in. If you are already a subscriber, that means you're already a member of the family. So come in. You already know what to do and make yourself comfortable. Today, we are going to talk about validation. And I'm also going to my goal is to make sure that I am consistently keeping up with the chat because I always get behind with the chat. So that is my goal today, not to be more than 5 minutes behind. So we're going to work our hardest on it. Hey J3, how you doing? Thank you for coming in yesterday. Are you at work? Are you working with Miss T right now? Are you doing both? Because I know sometimes you might be multi-talented. So you're probably over there and over here. Either way, I don't care. But I am, you guys, I wanted to share this. I guess you could say a quote. It was something that I heard someone say last night while I was listening to a sermon. And I wanted to share that today and just get your thoughts on it. That's what we're going to do. And this is going to be easy breezy. So we're going to hit both. Well, bless you. Thank you so much. I had a great time talking to you yesterday. Hi, Callie, Aboriginal family. Grand rising to you too. Thank you for coming in. And J3, thank you for doing both. Look at you working both, doing both. So tell Miss T I said hey in the clan, in the crew, not clan, the crew. Tell her I said hey and tell the crew I said hey. But Callie, how are you? You're new here. I went to go visit your page yesterday and I saw some family things up. I don't remember if I put comments. I probably did. If I did not, I'm going back because I marked some of your videos to go back and watch them later. So thank you for coming in. Those of you who are coming in, come on in. Keep coming on in. We're going to be talking about validation today. And I had a quote that I would like to share with you all that I heard. It's not a quote, it's just something I heard somebody say. So we're going to do that. So let me know how your day's going so far. What's the temperature where you are? I like to get a good idea of, how you all are feeling first before I go into this live because I want to make it more about you all today. I feel like I come on here and I just go, 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 go. So I want to take it a little bit slow today. And for me, that's just making sure I pay attention to this chat and seeing how you all are. How's your mental health? If you don't want to tell me any of those details, that's your business. You don't have to. I just want to know if you're doing well. That's it. And if you want to let me know what state you're from or what country, I also like that because I get so excited when I see the people are coming in from different regions, different countries, different states. It's just very good to see, where the audience is coming in. So without further ado, so validation. The quote that I heard was, let me see. Hello, Mr. Jolly Roger. Hello, UK here. Hope you in chat are well. Thank you, UK. Wow. Okay, what part of the UK? I'm just interested. Thank you for coming in. Are you new here? Doesn't matter. I'm curious because I don't remember seeing your name. But if you are, welcome in. Welcome in. I just like to welcome all the newcomers in and make sure that they feel good. Let me know, what do you all think about validation? And when I'm saying validation, I'm saying what are your feelings towards validation? Do you feel like you've ever felt the need to be validated by someone else? Southeast, so near to London. Oh, yeah, Brandon, thank you for the warm welcome. You're welcome. Southeast. I have not been to the UK yet. I would like to go. I would like to go at some point. In London, so near to London. Okay, that sounds great. So How'd you get here? You know what? That's a question I should start asking the people who are new. Like, how'd you find this channel? Did you just see me online? Be like, hey, I want to, jump in and chit chat because I'll engage over here with you. Or did you, I don't know, see it on a homepage somewhere else? Did you just see my page and decide? Just kind of curious because I was talking about YouTube ads uh, the other a couple days ago, and I was just kind of curious, and I just wonder how all those things, like what brings somebody here, what makes them click on. Talia Magusha, hi, how are you today? Are you new? You're so pretty. Oh, you're so kind. That's so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it. And you, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you coming in. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? Because Mr. Jolly Roger just shared his location. And like I was saying earlier, I love to see where you all come in from. I'm in the States. So whether you're coming in from the United States of America, if you're coming in from Africa, UK, wherever you are in the world, I just like to, YouTube is international. And I just get so excited when I, see that everybody's coming in from different areas because it's not just local on a local level. So I love the fact that it's international, and I could be talking to somebody right now in Brazil, right? I was searching for girl gamers and you popped up. Oh, really? You know what? That's why I asked. How about you, Talia? How did you find me? You're new to the channel. Welcome, 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 Talia. Thank you for coming in. Subscribe to me, you guys, so you can come back and engage. One thing you will find out about me here is I love to engage with the chat. So I've been told I suck at the chat, right? I suck at keeping up because I'm usually trying to give a lot of information at one time and then I'm trying to look at the chat. But what I find out is when I do that, I miss out on a lot of the chat. So I'm challenging myself not to be behind today. I don't want to, this does not have the time on like the streaming system that I used yesterday where I could see the time, see how far I was behind. It was like 20 minutes. And I said, that's not acceptable. So I'm challenging myself to do better, like 5 minutes, no more than that. But I want to catch you all as soon as you say something. That's my challenge today. I knew I was searching for a girl. I was saying Jolly Roger. That's funny. Hey, Reese, how you doing? Thank you for coming in, Reese. Thank you, Reese. How's it? How you doing over there in Philly? So, yeah, it's interesting, Jolly Roger, that you found me searching up a girl gamer because I don't even game. It's so far from it. But you know what? I'm glad you found me. So whether it's girl gamer or whatever, I'm just curious. How did everybody else find me? And I wanted to see a black girl. Okay, well, you found a black girl. I'm here. I'm here. You have any black girl questions? You were looking for girl gamers too? So I come up as a black girl gamer. I wonder if it's because of the name. What do you all think? Geeky Girls Journal. That's probably why they clumped me in that category. But I don't, if you all ask me something about games, I have no idea. I'm just going to tell you right now. Roblox, I know a little bit about that. My kids play Roblox, but I've played one time and I probably sucked at doing that because I was trying to just move around, and it just, the setup was a little bit weird for me because I'm used to the old school games where I can just use a joystick. I'm a joystick type girl. I like to be able to hold it and move it, and even the what is it called? Oh my goodness, what's it? Not console, but my daughters would be like, oh my God, if they heard me saying this and getting it wrong. But the part that you hold the joystick, I think is it still called a joystick? I'm that type of person. I need to be able to hold it, push buttons, and do all that. If I have to move things around on the screen, it's guaranteed I'm about to mess up. So, what kind of games do you all like? Talia, since you said you were looking for a gamer, and I'm a black girl. I'm not a gamer, but I'm a black girl. I will play games. They're going to be old games, though, like Pac Man. So, oh, I play Super Mario. I do play that. So, I know that's still pretty popular. I don't play Zelda. My girls do play games. So, maybe I could relate to that. Haha, excellent, Talia. I know a lot of really good ones, but I can't pop them here. Oh, okay. You can. Don't be hard on yourself. Thank you, J3. See? Hey, Riaz, how you doing? How are you today? How are you doing in school, Riaz? Are you still having a good experience? Let's see, because there was so much like, yeah, girls. Yeah, I know. So you're a gamer. Are you a game? Do you have is your channel focused on gaming? Do you have a YouTube channel focused on gaming, or are you just, do you just have a channel for the sake of being able to view other YouTube content. That's what I'm asking. Geeky, I'm doing good, fam. That's good, Riz. I'm glad to hear it. It might be the name, yeah. I think so. Yeah, my name actually, Geeky Girls Journal, actually came from my daughters. I named the business after my girls because they are brilliant. They're so smart. I mean, sometimes I'm like, I created that? Yeah. So that's how I came up with that name. It's the name of my small business, which was named after my girls. So geeky, smart. I know some people like, you think about geeky from the my kids thought about geeky from the old days. They're like, why did you choose that word? Like, we don't like it. But I couldn't. Somebody else had smart girls. Otherwise I would have chosen smart girls or, you know, something like that. But uh yeah, I just wanted them to know that they're special and to keep going. So I created some books and some apparel. So if you ever want to go to geekygirlsjournal.com, Geeky Girls Journal, that's my whole YouTube channel name.com, and find some things, find out what I'm about. Controller, that's what it's called. Thank you, Mr. Jolly. Controller. See, that's the first symbol that I'm not a gamer. I already told you all. Yeah, Young Riz Controller. Hey, Frugal Mama, how you doing? How'd your workout go this morning? Because I missed it completely. I was out in those streets. I was out in the streets. Wellness, hello. Look at Jigs coming in. Hello. Yeah, hello. So I thought I would take it slowly today, you all, because it's Thursday and Friday. I'll probably do the same thing, but Thursday. So I was thinking about validation because I was listening to this sermon last night. And in this sermon, I don't think the sermon was not about validation. I think it came from like his sermon came from like Ephesians 3, around Ephesians 3 or something like that. And he was talking about, God being able to do the exceedingly and abundantly. So within that sermon, I heard him say, stop measuring you according to other people. So I was like, oh, I should do a live about that. So I'm here to talk about that. What do you think about that statement first? Stop measuring you according to other people. Should I put that in the chat? Stop measuring you according to other people. And I just let that simmer for a little while. Thanks for sharing. Hey, Toon Hawks. Did I say that right? Toon Wax. Toon Wax. Toon Wax. I hope I said that right. Very interesting. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Are you new here? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. It lets YouTube know I'm doing a good job, and then they send you all back here so you can keep on coming and we can keep on engaging. What you think about that, Jigs? You think? Thanks. Oh, Toon Hall said thanks for sharing. That's true. You think that's true, Jigs? I thought it was pretty, and I thought it was pretty true as well. I was like, that's fair. You think it's interesting, Toon House? I'm trying to stay on point today. Hey, Buddha and Trending. Hey, Trending and Buddha. Hey, thank you. Yes, I'm new. Oh, I keep seeing the new people. Do you mind telling me where you're from? Like, you don't have to say what city. Please don't say what city unless you feel comfortable with doing that. But like what state or what country? I only ask because I love seeing, the new people and see where they're coming from. And also, how did you find me? Because two people said they found me in Girl Gamers, which I think is very interesting because I don't I don't even have a gaming channel. If you go on it, you'll see that I have no content about gaming, but I'm fine with it. However, it has to get you all over here. Come on over. Gaming, motivational, Christian content, whatever it is, come on over. Buddha, I wish I could stop doing that myself. There's so many evil, nasty people about. Yeah, it makes you kind of shocked when you find someone nice and kind. Oh, okay. So I agree with that. I do agree. I mean, I don't know. I think I was saying I agree if you're agreeing with me about that statement. So if you're agreeing that that is a good statement, stop measuring you according to other people, then I agree with what you're saying because I wish I could stop doing that myself. Yeah, just don't stop. Okay, so this is how you stop. Just decide that you don't care what other people say about you, and then you move right along, right? Just decide that what somebody else says about you is not going to change who you are, first of all. It's not going to change your it's just not going to change who you are. It's not going to do anything like Well, it kind of depends. It kind of depends. So I'm going to say it kind of depends. If you're a person who is interested in what other people say about you, then I kind of break it up into different categories, right? So you have family members, then you have friends, then you have the people who you could care less about, that you've never seen in life, that just made this comment about you. So those are pretty easy. Those should be pretty easy because that person has no idea who you are, what your character is. They know nothing about your life. They just make a comment, right? So those people you can easily just say, you know what? It doesn't matter what they say. They don't even know me. So you get rid of that power real quick. Now, friends. Okay, how close are you to this person? Um, is it a friend's opinion that you care about? Because some of us have friends, and you just have to know that person. Does their opinion hold weight in your life? Because if it doesn't hold weight, you can easily trash that one too. Same thing with a family member. People can say whatever. People can say whatever because they are human, and you cannot control what comes out of their mouth, but you can control your response to what they say or what they do or how they make you feel. And let me see if I can read these comments. Good morning. In background, just open eyes. All right, well, good morning. I'm glad you opened your eyes and came on here, Trendy. Thank you. You from Jamaica in the Caribbean? Ooh, wee, that's nice. How warm is it? Because I just picture this nice, warm weather and the wind blowing. Just being able to, I don't know, do you sit on the beach and, have your favorite drink? Or are you working right now? Which one is it? See, trending live. Hello from J3. Yes, about the statement. Okay. All right. We're here, Mr. Jolly. Hello, Geeky Girl. Hey, Eric, how are you? You came back. I guess I didn't scare you away yesterday. Now, I know you've been here. You've been here, though, Eric. So um, thank you for coming back. I think you said you're also a girl dad. Did you say that or am I making it up? Ah, it's not what they say. It's what I see people do. Oh, okay. All right. It's what you see people do. That's a good one. Angie Pooh, hey, how are you? Greetings. Everyone doing a drive-by of love. Thank you for driving by with some love. We're talking about validation, Angie Pooh. What are your thoughts on that? Do you have any thoughts about validation? And I made the statement, stop measuring you according to other people. It's something I heard a pastor say yesterday. And I was like, ooh, that's good because I know that sometimes it just happens, doesn't it? If you, especially, let's say you have an insecurity, right? Let's say you have an insecurity and then somebody touches on that and then they say something and then now all of a sudden now you're questioning your ability to do something or you're questioning who you are or you're questioning um, even if you are capable of doing that particular thing, like say it's a task, say you're wondering if you are, we'll use YouTube for example. Say you have a YouTube channel and you're fairly new and then somebody comes in and say you're doing a live and somebody comes in and it's like, hey, you suck, you're the worst, or you should get off the stage or shut up, because I've had somebody tell me shut up and I was like, well, why did you come to this channel? Like, why are you even here if you want me? So what if you had somebody come on and say something like that? Would you be able to hold your ground and just ignore the comment? Or would you, I don't know, you may respond differently. You might actually acknowledge it and tell them, get out of here. You know what? You shouldn't. Or, I mean, I don't know. I can only throw out examples at this point because that's what I'm doing. But I think that it all boils down to how confident you are and how secure you are with knowing what your abilities are and just who you are. And I think that confidence has to come from within, right? I don't believe that if you are a confident person and if you truly, truly, truly know who you are, that somebody could easily say something like that and shut you down. I think that you'd be able to respond and or not respond, right? Because you don't always have to give a response when somebody says something. You cannot respond and go on your merry little way and know that that person's words do not change you or your trajectory in life. It doesn't change any of those things. So you could walk away and feel like, okay, their opinion doesn't matter. What they say doesn't matter. I don't need their validation. I'm going to keep going, or I don't need their validation to continue being who I am. That's just one man's or one woman's opinion of me, right? So I think if you have that kind of attitude, you can completely walk away from situations where somebody has called you something that was untrue or wasn't you. Now, I'll tell you what, a lot of times I fought a lot of battles where I was trying to defend myself and say, no, that's not what I said, that's not what I meant. Now, I, you have to be a special person in my life for me to do that. If I don't know you and you don't know me, and even if we don't have that kind of relationship, if you're not somebody who is like somebody who is very instrumental in my life and somebody that I really, really care about what they say, it's not going to bother me. And there are very few people in my life that can have that effect on me. So hopefully, you can move forward. Like if somebody is doing something mean or nasty or calling you something that requires you to feel like, hey, is that, that makes you think about like, man, is that really true? Now, if somebody says something and then you have to think about it, and you're like, I wonder, and then you start thinking about it, and it's an issue that you really wanted to change, then just change it. Change it. Like if it's something that you want to do, if it's something that you feel like you need to change it. Because what that person says may have kind of made you reflect and may have triggered something within you. So if that's the case, maybe it's something you should be working on, but you also don't need their approval, right? It's just your decision and how you want to do it. Hey, Mr. Terry, how are you? Thank you for leaving a reminder. Viewers and subscribers of this YouTube channel, please set an alarm on your cell phone for each. Good morning, Michael. I see you came back. Good morning, Associate Minister. Hi. Oh, let me see. I got to keep up. Please hit the like button. Wellness with Frugal Mama saying hello to everybody. Hello, hello. Please hit the share button. It really helps this YouTube channel's videos to be exposed to social media networks. It also helps this YouTube channel's videos to be exposed to more non-subscribers. Awesome, because some people thought I was a gamer. I'm sorry to disappoint, I'm not. How's your morning going? I'm having a great morning. How is your morning going, Michael? It's a good day to have a good day. I say that. It's a great day to have a great day. I'm having a good morning. The sun is out. It's not that hot today. It's 60. Let me tell you what. It's currently 59 degrees, a high of 65. It's wonderful. I have no complaints. I'm alive. Uh, all my kids are healthy and here. My spouse is. So I have nothing to complain about. How's your morning going? Greetings, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hello, Frugal Mama. Let me catch up. I've got to go back to work now. Take care, everybody. Be good. Thank you for coming in, Jolly Roger. GGJ, thank you. Michael, right? I'd go off. Right, because, well, that's some people's response. And I think you said something about almost along those lines yesterday. Like, you might want to go off. I think it. Now, I was at a place in my life where I was. Like, that used to be my reaction. Now, I don't care. I don't care. It does not bother me. It does not bother me. If it's somebody that I'm close to and they said something that, hurt my feelings or made me question some things, I just go have a conversation with that person directly. Let me ask you all something because this makes me think about it. What do you all think about confrontation? Like, are you a person that will confront somebody? Because I know that some people are uncomfortable with confronting others and other people don't have an issue with it. Some people are just kind of somewhere in the middle, like they will do it if they have to, but they don't want to necessarily touch they don't want to touch every issue or every conversation. So maybe they're selective in confronting people. Let me know, and then I'll let you all know. Buddha, be your background truth. I asked how they are doing, and maybe a follow-up question about what we are talking about. Facts. Maintain your balance. Yes. The Nerd Strip Club. Hey, thank you for coming in. Thank you. I see that you're new. Blessings. Yeah. Is that the name of a business that you have, or is that I just you're new? I can tell that. So welcome in, and let me know. The Nerd Strip Club. It just kind of caught my eye, or is that just something you? Are you a YouTuber? Is that just something you named your channel? I'm kind of curious. Michael Moss, facts over feelings. Yeah, if I'm interpreting what you're saying right, facts over feelings. Yeah, so the fact is, if somebody says something factual about me, right? And then, wait, I don't know. Let me not guess. Let me let you, if you want to elaborate a little bit, if you had the time, because I don't want to just guess. Michael Moss, facts. Okay. So Minister Terry is agreeing with you. You remember you two were on the panel yesterday. We must remember the difference between a warrior and a soldier. A warrior will fight all the battles in their life. A soldier will pick and choose the battles they fight in their life. I asked, and that's coming up, I see more, Mr. Terry. I asked myself the following question: is the victory worth the battle? If no, that's time and energy saved, of course. If it's not worth their time, you don't want to give it your time and energy. You could be using that time to do other things. Why are you trying to fight a battle that's not worth your time, worth your time? You know what I mean? Like, save that for the war. Or you don't have to fight every battle. Like Mr. Terry said, is the victory worth it? Is the victory worth the battle? If the answer is no, then you move right on. So I was looking at some of the reasons that people feel like I was looking at some of the reasons why people seek validation, right? And some of the things that came up, well, first of all, they say it's a natural desire for people to want to feel seen and want to feel valued. And I get it. I get it. We want to be seen. We want to be acknowledged, right? We want to be liked, right? We want people to like us. Some of you might say, I don't care if people like me or not. Yeah, sometimes I don't care either. But I'm saying overall, like, you want to be somebody who is liked by at least somebody, right? Or loved more, I think, loved. So the only issue with that is sometimes you might go a little too far. Like, the extent at which you're trying to be validated might be a little bit too far fetched. So if you are one that is trying to seek validation to the point where you're doing something that's putting you in a compromising position, or is an integrity issue, or those are the two I can think of right now, then I would suggest that it would be a little bit problematic at that point. Problematic. Because we don't want it to dominate your lifestyle. We don't want it to be so important to you that the seeking the validation part to be so important to you that you're willing to do anything and everything for people to like you, to validate you, to allow you to be seen, or, to understand the road I'm going down. Let's see. Am I keeping up? Okay, I did. I'm keeping up. So here are some reasons why people see validation. Okay, so some may have had, it says, adverse childhood experiences. So experiences where people who didn't receive enough validation as a child, maybe they didn't receive validation from their parents, and as children they may want to seek it from others. So instead of feeling like their parents affirmed them enough, or validated their choices, or made them feel special, or made them feel like they were loved, just unmeasurably, that they were just a wonderful, wonderful person, and that they have value, because you have to speak those kind of things into people's lives. Tell them, if you love somebody, you should say those loving things to them that will uplift them, right? And I'm not saying that you have to make up some stories and some lies. No, people want you to be honest with them. I think people want you to be honest with them, but I think that if your honesty is crushing, like, say you're calling out a flaw, right? And then you just keep harping on it. You may be being honest, but it's also a way that you have to use your words, right? I'm not a person that believes in tearing down others. I'm more on that side where I think you build people up, and you say kind things to them. You say things that are uplifting. Not because I'm trying to win a popularity race, or I'm trying to win I'm the best person award. No, it's because I believe. Why are you saying negative things, or why are you trying to promote those things that would hurt another person, or those things that can make somebody, just feel terrible. And my thing would be, what is your intent? Like, you can always go to somebody and have an honest and a genuine conversation with them without, people say, hitting below the belt, right? Without hitting below the belt or hitting somebody where it hurts. Or, and you can call out behaviors. You can also call out things that that person is doing or has done without trying to reduce them down, shrink them down and demean them and make them feel less than. And I'm trying to, um, if you do that, I don't know. I feel like that can also be, that should also be a question that you have to ask yourself. Like, why am I speaking to that person in this manner? And I don't know if I lost you all in the chat. I hope I am. Mr. Terry, can you put something so I can know if you're still there? I don't know if you're all, I see all 60,000 of you, but I don't see any engagement. Now, you know how I'm about that engagement. If I don't see that chat moving, I wonder if you're still here. So if you can't think of anything to say, just put, thank you, Eric. You all just got a little silent. Thank you. Still here. Hey, yeah, I guess I'm just working my way through this validation piece, because I know that some people really do struggle with validation, and I think that can be an issue. I think that can be an issue because if you're constantly trying to be validated for others, then you're going to always look for that validation, and then you're not going to feel good about yourself. And then the only way you can feel good about yourself is to be validated by somebody else. So what happens when somebody stops telling you that you're great? Or what happens when somebody stops telling you that you're beautiful, right? Or you're smart? Then where does it go? What do you all think about that? Where does it go after that? Sometimes they say it's a basic human desire. People want to feel accepted and avoid isolation. I get it, especially because we are relational individuals. Like, we were created for relationship. If not, why would God have created Eve, right? He saw that Adam was probably bored and lonely and needed a companion. He said, look, let me give you somebody, because the trees and all these other things, it's not good enough. You need some type of human interaction. And when you have another person, even if it's just to, if you're having a bad day, you need somebody to vent to, right? Or you need somebody just to share your day with, to say, hey, this is how my day went, how it's yours going. Just somebody to be able to communicate with, and to have that level of communication, I think will make a world of difference. So I can understand why people, to a certain extent, seek validation. Because, and I'm thinking about this, do you think people seek validation sometimes because maybe they just want to confirm something within them? Maybe, okay, let's say they want to be a motivational speaker, right? And the way that they can find out if they're a good motivational speaker or somebody that communicates well with others is from validation. Validation, because somebody would come and say, hey, you know what? I love the way that you spoke earlier. I really learned something from your message. Or um, I think you have a way with words. I like the way that you engage with others. I like the way that you interact and pull people into the conversation. So if I'm a motivational speaker and I hear somebody say that, then that's going to validate me, right? That's going to make me feel validated, because now I feel seen. I feel like there was some value in what I said. And not only that, the bigger portion is that somebody actually liked what I said enough to come and tell me that they appreciated what it was that I just said. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you all? I see you, Eric and J3. You two are still hanging in there, so I'm talking to you two. Validation is good. Why do you say that? Why do you say that, J3? Validation is good? Is it both good and bad? Or can it be good and bad? Social conditioning, and I'll wait. I'll let you answer it if you want to. Sometimes, now this is the one that I have issue with. If you're seeking validation and it's because you have low self-esteem, that's the one that I kind of just get bothered by, because I know low self-esteem comes from the root of something else. right? People with a fragile sense of self worth may have difficulty validating their own experiences. So, if you have low self esteem, a lot of times that goes hand in hand with validation, doesn't it? Sometimes you need it, and some, oh, I lost you off for a second, but I'm back. She's back. She's back. She's back. She's back. And I'm doing good with the chat today. I'm doing so good. Thank you for listening in the car, Jamie. Keep on moving and have a safe drive. So, yeah, my issue with that is with the low self esteem portion. And that's why you all, I try to push myself, not push myself, but that is why I want to become better at speaking about those types of things because I don't know, my heart goes out to those who have low self-esteem. It really does. I feel like everybody should love themselves, right? And I feel like everybody should have like this boost of I feel like everybody should have high self-esteem. Why? I don't. It's probably because of the way that I was raised. I spoke about it a little bit yesterday when I was saying that, my father contributed a lot to that. And I don't know if it's that daddy-daughter dynamic. It could also be the mother-son dynamic or mother-daughter dynamic. It was both of those for me. It was my mother that had a hand in that, but it was something about the way that my father spoke to his daughters, right? It was something about the way that my father spoke to us, and he really poured into me as a child and said, he used to say Maze Magic. That was my last name. It's like, girl, you got that Maze Magic. And to me, that always made me, no matter what kind of day I had, and he would usually say it after I'd have some type of interaction with somebody who said something negative to me, or somebody said something that, just shifted my day a little bit or changed my mood. And he'd be like, why are you worried about that? Like, why is that even an issue? You got that magic, girl. And I'd be like, you know what? It always made me smile. It always made me feel like, I was special. And I just carried that, that was something that just gave me a boost, like a boost of self-esteem. And I'd be like, okay, if my dad said that, and he knows me very well. Like, he probably knows me better than I knew myself at that point. If he knows that, and it was something he did throughout my childhood. It wasn't just a one-time thing, but it was all the time. And he would be like, hey, you're smart, or you got this, you can do it. And my mom did that as well. I'm just using my father as an example because that was just one of the ways that he continued to pour into me. So I like to try to do the same thing, not like to try, I do the same thing for my daughters. And I just want them to know that they are the bomb. I'm like, no matter what people say, like, you're always going to have that person or those people that will say things about you or that will try to come in to distract you and disrupt your day by saying something negative. So what do you have to do? You just got to keep on pushing on, and you just have to know that that you are unique, and that there's even not another person in this world, on this planet, in the atmosphere. There is nobody else like you. So to me, if there is nobody else like me in this world, that means I gotta hold it down for Andre. That means that there's nobody else like me in the world. I have to be unique. I have to be special. I have to have that magic, like my father said, right? I have to be dynamic. This is my words. I got to be dynamic, right? I have to be a dynamic person because who else can do that? There's nobody else that's, I don't have a clone. And even if I did, it wouldn't be the original. It wouldn't be me. So I have to be, I have to be the person that I'm created to be, is what I'm saying, you guys, right? If God said that I am this fearfully, wonderfully made individual, then I have to act like I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. We talked about that word wonderful. I feel like I want to, let me look at the definition because maybe that will be helpful. Wonderful. Wonderful. The definition of wonderful. And see, when we break down these words, then you can start thinking about just how great you are, right? So wonderful means, it's an adjective, first of all, for you all who want to know, not a noun, an adjective. An adjective describes a noun. I remember that from second grade. My teacher taught me that. A noun is a word that names a person, place, or thing. An adjective is a word that describes the noun. Pretty woman, right? Pretty is an adjective. Anyway, let's go. Wonderful. So wonderful It says inspiring delight, pleasure, or admiration. Extremely good. Extremely. That's another word. Extreme. That's extremely good. Marvelous. And then it says they all think she's wonderful. So here are some um, similar words for you, just in case you need further um, just in case you need to further analyze this word. We got magnificent, superb. These are all words that are equivalent to wonderful. Glorious, sublime. Oh, I like that. Lovely, delightful, first class, first rate. We all know what first class is. First rate, super, great, amazing. Oh, right, here's a word I never heard of. Am amaze balls. Amaze balls? Okay. That's equivalent to wonderful, fantastic, terrific, tremendous, sensational, incredible, heavenly, gorgeous, dreamy, grand, fabulous, fantabulous. It sounds like that made up word I made up the other day. If fantastical is on there, I'm going to laugh. So, all those words, you see where I'm going with it? Magic. I just said that magic. My father said I had that magic. So, going along with all those words, they just further cement the fact that you are special, you are incredible, and that there is nobody like you. And you know what? You got to start acting like it if you're not already. If you're here, if you interact with Geeky Girls Journal, there's no reason why you shouldn't be acting like that already. And I'm not saying walk around with your nose in the air and act like, you're better than everybody else. I'm saying you should have a level of confidence. You should have a level of um, strength, right? When you walk into a room, you should have a level of command, not coming in there trying to tell everybody what to do. You do this, you do that. No, that's different. I'm talking about command where you come in the room and people are like, hey, I don't know who she is, but I like her confidence. She just walked in the room and there's something about her. Can't put my finger on it, but it's something about him. When he came in here, it changed the whole atmosphere, right? The whole dynamic shifted. Let me see. Mr. Terry said, oh, Jamie J3 said, hey, Geeky Girls Journal, your positive messages of self-love applies to both boys and girls. I'm your number one hype man and proud of it. Much love. All right, hype man. Keep it up. Hey, Ashley Hunt, how are you? Do you have class today? How are you? Thank you for coming in. You're the author of your life. Hello, J3 Grand Rising. That's from Mr. Terry. You're the author of your life. What do you want your obituary to say? Right. That's a good question to think about. If you're the author of your life, what do you want your obituary to say? I've there was this movie. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of it, but Whoopi Goldberg was in it. And in this movie, her spouse passed. And people, you know how people get up for funerals and things of that nature, and they'll get up and they just say, usually they say only the great things about this person. Oh, this person, love God, they serve, they blah blah blah, whatever. So the matriarch of the family, which is the mom, she just was like, she couldn't think of anything good to say about this person, which was her spouse. And so she was trying to think about things to say, all the nice things to say. She couldn't come up with anything. So they were like, okay, what are you going to say? So she ended up saying he was mean and surly, right? Now, I guess she was being honest. She knew his personality, and that's the experience she had with him. So she said he was being mean and surly. Do you want surly? I should look that up to tell you all what that means. Surly. Surly. Do you want somebody to say those things about you? Would you want somebody to say that person lacked confidence, right? They had low self-esteem. They were mean. And I know some of these adjectives I'm throwing out, they're just examples because we have so many of them. But what do you want to say? And Mr. Terry, that was a good point. Like, what do you want it to say? Because how you are right now and those things that you do now will determine people's thoughts about you and their perspective of you. How do you come across to others? Do you come across as somebody who's confident, that stands up for themselves, that has humility, that shows integrity? Or are you a liar and a cheater and somebody that cannot be trusted? Are you somebody that likes to speak negatively? Are you somebody that is busying themselves with other people's lives? You know, when I say that, I mean you're minding everybody else's business and not worried about your own, right? You're all in everybody else's Kool-Aid. That's Kool-Aid. I had Kool-Aid a long time. Like you all in everybody else's business, or are you the person who is minding your own business and trying to make sure that you have everything intact and that you're on point and that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that your mental health is good? You can fill in the blank. What is it that you want others to say? And we talked about this. Sometimes others' perception of you may not be accurate. A lot of times it's not accurate. They may see you and think one thing. Doesn't mean that's how you really are. But I think if you're consistently showing people your genuine self, they're going they can see who you are. They can see who you are, right? If you all show up here and one day I switch it up and I'm like, I hate God, or oh God forgive me, I'm just trying to say an example. If I switch it up and I'm like, who is this Jesus? Or I have low self-esteem. I come in and my head is just, I'm like, and I can't look you in the eye in this camera. That's what I'm calling the eye. I can't look you in the eye, or I can't have authentic conversations with you. And then you're gonna be like, who is this person? Like that's not who she was yesterday, last week, or last month. Now, I'm not saying you can't change. Me, I like to change and become better. I want to move forward in life. I'm not wanting to change and go backwards. Only forward progression, right? So that's what I hope for you all. Forward progression. The things that happened in the past, let them be in the past. That's why they call it the past. Leave it there. Now, you can use some of your past experiences to become a better person. Maybe you didn't like how you were last year. Maybe you didn't like who you were last week. So you have the ability to change that. And let me see what Mr. Terry is saying. We must remember never turn down your godly inner light to make someone else comfortable in their own personal darkness. Yes, we must remember never reduce yourself to make someone else comfortable in their own personal darkness. You're the bomb. I'm glad we're connected, everybody. And don't forget to type GGJ if you're here and you would like to connect with other people that are here now and that will see this live after we're finished. And I'm only going to go until 11 today. Well, I'll do a whole hour. We're at 47 minutes. We must remember fake people make noise. Real people move in silence. Okay? We must remember for most people, their character doesn't match their reputation. And that's the whole thing, Mr. Terry. Like, we're talking about character. By the way, let me give you the definition for that. Oh, surly meant bad-tempered and unfriendly. And I'm really thinking about doing the vocabulary words again. Bad-tempered and unfriendly. So she was saying he was mean and bad-tempered and unfriendly. So that's what surly means, if you all want to know. Surly. So I want to look up character. And I'm giving you definitions just because if somebody is like, hey, what's that mean? Now you know. Character, it says, has multiple meanings. The mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. Okay, so what's distinctive to you? What is the mental and moral qualities distinctive to you? Your personality is basically what they're talking about. Your temperament, disposition, mentality. What are those things that make you who you are? And if you yourself even question some of the decisions you make and some of the things that come out of your mouth and some of the actions that you have, if you have acted in some ways that were questionable to you, and some people say that person made me act out of my character. I don't know. If they made you act out of your character, that means that it's something that you would have done, right? Because if it's something that you would not do or that you would not normally do, then that means you wouldn't have acted out of character. Maybe it's something that was kind of deep down that needs to be addressed in you that made you react to something that somebody said or did. And if that's something that you want to change, I challenge you to change it. Why would we wait? Why do you wait? Why do people say, you know what, that's me, I'm going to get better, or you know what, I'm going to maybe I feel this way today, but maybe I'll feel differently tomorrow. No, well, what's stopping you from trying to make that change right now? Why are you waiting to become a better person? I think that's more my challenge to others. Like, why wait? If you recognize that something that you're doing is not right, you think it's not right because some other people might think something's right, but it's about what you think. If you think it's not right, why would you continue to do that particular thing? Change it. And you might say, hey, easier said than done, Andrea. No, not really. It's not really easier said than done. It's something that you can accomplish. It's a task that can be accomplished. Now, you may not be able to do it in your own strength, but there's one that can help you reach those ultimate goals and help you have character development and help you have character growth, personal growth. I know we use all those terms, self growth, but is it really self growth? Self growth. Is it really self growth? Um, if you're not growing, is it really self growth if you are relying on God to help you through certain things? I had to think about that because I was saying self growth for some things previously, but it's not self growth if you need assistance because self means or implies that you're doing it by yourself or in your own strength. So you're not if you have to rely on others or the one. We already know who I'm talking about. If you have to rely on God, that is who you should be relying on to make those changes. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm thinking about this stuff as we're talking. Mr. Terry says, oh, okay. Oh, thank you, J3. Oh, I missed that. Okay, I said, please don't get caught up on the P word, potential. Potential. Okay, we're going to have to think about that, Mr. Terry. Potential. We have potential. He's saying don't get caught up on it. Make changes. We must remember it takes more energy to be fake than it does to be real. I'm here just listening right now, getting some work done. Thank you. Are you working with the honey, the bees, or wait? That's not that time of year, is it? We must remember to stop pressing the rewind button on your life. Please have the courage to press the play button on your life and have the courage to move forward with your life. Please don't let your past block your present and destroy your future. If the great Lord Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit brought you through the Red Sea, why go back to Egypt? I was thinking about that earlier, Mr. Terry, as far as Egypt, and I was thinking about that. I probably should leave it for another live because it's going to change the whole conversation if I go into that right now. So maybe I'll table it. But I was definitely thinking about Egypt and slavery and how slavery is mentioned. No, don't go into Andrea. Let me just stop. Let me stop and stay focused. Hey, Miss Betty. Hey, Miss Betty. How you doing? Miss Betty joined the conversation. We must remember a vision is what you want to achieve. Goals are the steps to help you achieve your vision. I was listening to a podcast, a part of it earlier before I got on here. And in that podcast, the guy was talking about goals. And he was saying that basically he was saying goals are nothing without a plan. And I thought that kind of goes along with what you're saying, Mr. Terry. Goals are the steps to help you achieve your vision. He was saying goals without a plan are basically dead. He was like, you can have goals, but what's your plan? Like, how do you reach those goals? How are you, like, first of all, where do you want to go? That's the first thing. Where do you want to go? And second, what's your plan to accomplish those goals? And sometimes we may get a little stuck in one or two of those places. So I think after hearing him say that, and now you just said something about achieving goals and goals becoming a vision where it's a step to help you achieve your vision, that makes it okay, how can I say it? I think that when it's said in that way, it makes you put a little bit more work into it and more effort because you can say, I'm going to, well, my goal is this, right? I have a goal to reach, I want to lose 100 pounds. I'm just using those for examples. I want to lose 100 pounds within a 2-year period. Okay, so you can say that, but then you can fall flat on it if you don't have a plan behind it. So what's your goal to reach that? I mean, what is your plan to reach that particular goal? What are you going to do to lose 100 pounds within a 2 year period or a 1 year period? Somebody might be real aggressive and say, oh, I'm going to lose 100 pounds. I don't even know if you can do this, but what is your plan to get to that? You can't say, I want to lose 100 pounds within 2 years, but you eating all the junk food. You didn't change your diet. You eat after hours, because I believe I read somewhere a long time ago that if you eat after 7, like if you eat before 7, that's the best time to eat. That may have just been somebody saying something, but you have to do your research and figure out what is the best way to lose those 100 pounds, right? Like I said, do you change your diet? Do you shift some of the things that you were eating? Maybe you can't eat those things anymore. Do you change your exercise? Do you go for a walk every day and do 2 miles as opposed to just taking steps from your bedroom to the living room, right? Now you have to increase your amount of exercise. Do you get on a treadmill? Do you get on an elliptical? Do you work out? Are you trying to um, change that into muscle? Like, what is your plan and how do you reach that goal? Do you need to hire a trainer? So many different things you have to think about when you're trying to do your goals. If you have a small business, like, do you feel like you need to hire a team? Maybe what you're doing is not working because you're the only person that's doing it and you might need a team. Maybe you can't hire a team right now. So you got to figure out a way to make money to be able to hire people. I don't know. It's so many different things, ways we can go with that. Associate Minister Reserve Deacon Terry. And enjoyed you yesterday on panel. And the panel, it was, it sure was. If you have not watched that live yesterday, you should go and watch it because we had a good time. I had a good time. And I enjoyed the panel as well, Miss Betty. Deacon Mr. Terry, did you get engaged yet? Miss Betty, you coming in starting things. Hello, J3 Farm, J3GS Farm. Hello, hello. Loved y'all on the panel yesterday. Welcome all with the pumpkin thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you, Miss Betty, for the reminder. I'm Betty J. Gathers. Grand Rising. I love spreading my life experiences and the great Lord Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit's wisdom. Hey, Miss Lynn, how are you? Hello, host and everyone in the chat. Hi, Miss Lynn, how you doing? We're talking about validation here, ladies and gentlemen. Do you feel the need to be validated? And if you do, why? And I was talking about why you should not feel the need to be validated. I don't know. I'm really big on self-esteem and loving yourself and not worrying about what others say about you, because I think about them like, do they really change anything in your life if they said something about you or if they feel a certain way about you? No, I don't think so. Let's see what's Deacon Mr. Terry Hart for Miss Betty. You're the bomb. Glad we're connected. Hello, I'm Betty J. Gaddis. Okay, looks like I caught up with the chat, Miss Betty. I'm doing good with the chat today. Very good. So Miss Betty and Miss Lynn, if you want to add your expertise or experience, you're more than welcome to do that. Also, let me read this statement to you both, because I know that you came in and you didn't hear when I said it earlier. Stop measuring you according to other people. What do you think about that statement? Stop measuring you according to other people. And I need to, so another reason why, I don't know if I said that. Another reason why people seek validation is called social conditioning. And let me tell you what that means. From early childhood, people are often taught that their worth comes from the approval of others. I touched on that. I didn't call it social conditioning, but now I know the proper terminology that goes along with it. So it's called social conditioning. From early childhood, people are often taught that their worth comes from the approval of others. That's where it's going to be a problem, because if you're taught that from childhood and then that is what if you believe certain things about yourself and it carries on from childhood into adulthood, that, I don't know, you might even have to seek therapy to get past that point and seek help from the one that created you. So let's see here. What else? Yeah, what do you all think about that? Low self-esteem, so we talked about that. Childhood experiences while seeking validation. Oh, okay, this would go in line with what you said, Jay, because remember earlier I was thinking out loud and I was saying that, validation can be good and bad. And I gave the example about the motivational speaker. Well, I'm looking at something now online and I want to read it to you all. It says, while seeking validation is not inherently negative, it can lead to disappointment if people rely on others' opinions to feel good about themselves. I agree with it. That's the same thing I said. An excessive need for validation can also cause conflict in relationships. What do you all think about that? Do you think an excessive need for validation can cause conflict in relationships? Let me think about that for a second. Causing conflict in relationships. I could see how that could cause conflict in relationships, because if you are always looking for that other person to make you feel like, if you're always tying your worth in what somebody else says, and this goes back to the first part of the conversation, if you're always looking for somebody to validate you and to pour into you, first of all, that can be exhausting for that other person. But if you're always looking for that person or someone to validate you, like I said earlier, what happens if that person's no longer around, right? What happens if they're no longer around? Now you're just sitting kind of looking like, now you have low self-esteem, or now you lack those things that you need in order to be that positive, happy, motivated individual that you can be, right? So I think I could see that. It could also cause conflict, because what if the person just gets tired of you, or tired of doing that, or tired of putting things into you? Like, say you're a negative person and they just keep on saying and keep doing it. It can cause conflict, because they may feel like, okay, I'm tired. I don't know what else to do. And also, you almost probably feel like you have to have this person to be made whole, when you should already be whole, right? That person shouldn't have to complete you. You should already be complete. And when I'm saying complete, in the sense where you don't have to seek their approval for everything, right? You don't have to go to them and be like, hey, how do you feel about me in this? I don't know. How do you can ask for people's opinion, but I guess just still have your own still have your own opinions, and allow that person to give you their opinion and to say whatever it is, whatever depends on your conversation or whatever you're looking for in a situation. Allow them to give their feedback, but also have your own. Don't rely solely on what that person is saying. You have to you have to be in a space where you feel good about yourself and your decisions and those things that you want to see come to pass. Yes, it could, for a job or other situations in life. Oh, okay, I see, Mr. Terry. Let me go back up. We must remember the difference between being respected and being validated. Being respected is treated as an equal when communicating with another person. Being validated is meeting a set of standards. Yes, it could. That was from Jags. A set of standards for a job or other situations in life. Okay, Mr. Terry. I see where you're going with that one. Anybody else? I'm an hour in. I'm not gonna hold you all that long today. We're gonna go. So, is there anything else we should talk about with validation? What type of people need validation? People that have had adverse childhood experiences. Maybe somebody told them they weren't going to be anything their whole life, which is completely untrue. But maybe they need somebody to build them up and to validate. I feel like I just keep using that word because we're talking about it. But maybe they feel like they need somebody to, just kind of pour into them and speak life into them. And usually other people who need validation statistically have low self-esteem. So if you're one of those people, you're probably emotionally fragile. And I'm saying probably, I'm not saying in all cases. You may be emotionally fragile and you just need somebody to, kind of affirm some things for you. And I don't know, it could be a cry for help for some. Uh-oh. Let's see. Yes, it could. I'm keeping up with the chat today. All right, nothing. Okay. So I know I was like kind of chill today. I just wanted to be kind of chill today and kind of work my way through this validation piece. You all have anything that you want to add to it before I roll out of here? Let's see. Is it toxic to seek validation? Do you think it's a toxic behavior to seek validation? Does anybody think it's toxic? And I know that word toxic. I'm like, I, mm, I know it's thrown around a lot. It's thrown around a lot. So it says, is it natural? Hey, Jeremy and Cheryl. Hi. Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, y'all. Hey, how you doing? We're talking about validation and, validation, seeking approval from others. And low self-esteem is kind of bundled into this because I feel like a lot of times they go hand in hand, not in every situation, but sometimes they go hand in hand, because we did also discuss that validation can be good, it can be bad. Validation in a sense that if you're looking for it to um, validate who you are, as far as like, maybe if you have low self-esteem and you have to have somebody validate you to feel like you're worth something, then I think that's when it's an issue. But let's say you're just using validation for confirmation purposes. Like maybe you um, are a crafter or a seamstress, and you know, created a new gown for somebody, and you're like, I wonder what people think about this. I wonder if it looks good enough. I'm just kind of looking for some, maybe not reinforcements, but maybe I'm just looking for the opinions of others so that I can know how to tweak it, or know if it's receptive, if it's yeah, if what I'm doing is, if what I'm creating is something that people actually like. So then maybe you might seek a little validation in that sense, because you're like, okay, I want to know how people feel about this particular object, or what their opinion is toward me if I'm doing something. And the distinction I want to make is that you're not solely relying on just what that person says, right? If they say something, it's not going to make or break you. It's just kind of like an added bonus, if that makes sense. Like, it's just something added to kind of help you figure out what direction to go in next, right? Or to, to confirm something. Like if you think, hey, I did a wonderful job with this product, I'm just seeking other people's opinions so that I can know, because sometimes, we can see things, and then if you talk to someone else, you might get a different perspective, or they may say, hey, I like the way you did this. I like the way that you created these sleeves. This is an open arm shirt. I like the way you created this, but maybe you should try to do that. And now if it's something that you agree with, it's a change that you will make. If it's something that you're like, nah, I don't want to do that because blah, blah, blah. Now that was just you kind of considering that person's opinion and trying to take it in. That wasn't you leaning solely on them for validation. That was just you kind of saying, okay, I need a little bit of confirmation. Do people still consider that as validation? I don't know. I'm asking you all. You can chime in and let me know. Hey, Jeremy and Cheryl. Adventures, thanks for coming in. Sit back, relax, and join the conversation. Mr. Terry says sometimes people need validation to help them repair their emotional foundation because it was cracked by something in the past. Okay, that's a good point. So then we go back to, it could be from their childhood, or it could be at any period of their life in which maybe they were broken, and they just kind of needed somebody to kind of come and repair that area. That's good. That's good. That's good, Mr. Terry. So I didn't want to hold you all long today. I just wanted to come on and first engage, and see how your day was going. And then also talk about validation, only because I heard that statement, which was stop measuring you according to other people. So when you look at that and you think about validation, that's why I came up with that. Like, stop measuring yourself. Stop measuring yourself according to what other people say and according to other people's progression. I know sometimes I can let the I can tell you all, when I look at I think I don't want to say this person's name, but I'll just say that sometimes even on social media, you can look at what you perceive to be somebody's progression, or somebody just kind of came out the, they call it blowing up, right? You could see somebody because you didn't know them a year or two ago or even 3 months ago, but then all of a sudden you start seeing this person, you're like, man, this person is blowing up. It just appears that they kind of came out of nowhere and just took off. Sometimes that happens, that's an anomaly, but most of the time, the vast majority of the time, it's somebody that was putting in the work behind the scenes and you just didn't know it. You only see their highlight. You didn't know that they've been working at this particular thing for 10 years. Now, the time, energy, and effort that they put into it is starting to pay off. And now that's why all of a sudden now it looks like they just started to skyrocket. And I say that because we can look at people who did that and it just appears that they just kind of took off, and then compare ourselves to it. I know because I'm sometimes like, man, I've been at this for a while, but it doesn't seem like it's letting up. But also it is, right? Also it is because I'm definitely not where I was even last year or the year before that. And I'm just using this for example. You might look at that particular individual and think they just, man, they just got it all together. They have it all. Like nothing, I'm sure nothing's going wrong in their life. And that's far fetched because everybody has something going on. Everybody is going through something. So don't believe the hype. Like we used to say back in the day, don't believe the hype. Everybody's going through something. Just because people mask, somebody was talking about masking yesterday, just because people walk around with a smile on their face or not, some people do not, that doesn't mean that they're not going through anything. And it doesn't mean that they're not going to be challenges in life. We're going to have challenges. We're going to face trials, right? And we're going to have things that are difficult for us to do. We just got to keep going. We got to endure. We have to put forth our best. I said in the live the other day, hi, Mystic. You're an Indian girl. Thank you for coming. Thank you for liking. I was talking in the live the other day where I said, whenever you're doing something, do it to the glory of God, right? Do it to the glory of God and do it as if you're doing it for God. And I'm telling you, it shifted my whole perspective because if you're doing it for God, I think that you should bring nothing but the best, nothing but excellence, right? You if you're doing it for even somebody you love, right? If your why is I want to do this because I love my daughters or my sons and I want them to see that becoming a small business owner is possible and being successful in the particular industry that I'm in is possible, then you're going to want to bring forth your best effort in that. You're not going to want to just produce junk. You're not going to want to just put out anything. Ask me how I know because I'm very intentional and very passionate about those things that I do. I will look over the thing about 500 times just to make sure it meets my expectation. Somebody else can come in and be like, "Oh no, that's real cute. I like that." And I'll be like, "No, it's not good enough for me." And until it's good enough for me, I will then keep working on it and keep working on it. And then when it's good enough for me, that's when I feel like it's good enough for God. It's good enough to now present this thing and say, okay, I did it as if I was working for you. So it's going to be exceptional. Let's see what Mr. Terry said. We must remember one man's blessing can be another man's curse. So cute. What's so cute? Geeky? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Keep engaging. So yeah, that's it. Those are my thoughts on that. Anybody have anything to add to it before we get out of here? So remember, don't seek other people's validation. It can be a recipe for disaster. It can be a recipe for disaster if you always have to have somebody's validation to feel good about yourself or to move forward. That's what I'm talking about. If you're using the validation just to kind of get somebody else's opinion or affirmation, and like, hey, I'm kind of using what you're saying to become a better person, then yeah, and their opinion is really not going to persuade, dissuade, or make you feel a certain kind of way, then go ahead. But if you have low self-esteem and you're always looking for somebody to validate you, that's something you have to change. Because understand, you don't need anybody's validation. You don't need anybody's validation to be wonderful or superb, right? Amazeballs was another word, and I don't really know where that came from, but that's a word that's equivalent to wonderful, so that's what we're going to say. Grab something for the smart girl in your life. We have books, ebooks, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. We must remember the greatest script writers will not let you see the eraser marks on their manuscripts. That's a good one. I never heard that, Mr. Terry. They're not going to let you see the errors and the mistakes. No one has life together 100% of the time. No, nobody has life all this, everything in life figured out. None of us have it all figured out. I think that, we're all on a journey. We're all trying to figure it out, no matter what people tell you. Nobody has it all together. Not 100%. Either you're going through something, you just came out of something, or you're about to face something. That's just it. And what matters is how you deal with the situation that you're in. What matters is how you show up. What matters is the things that come out of your mouth and how you deal with situations. What matters is, are you being your genuine self? Are you showing up in authenticity? Are you showing up authentically? Right? Are you showing up authentically, or are you just existing? Are you just like, hey, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm born, I'm just going to float around and just be mediocre? Oh, mediocrity. Are you just willing to be mediocre? Or are you wanting to make an impact and be the best version of you that you can be? Which one is it? I challenge you today to think about those things that you can change to become a better you, right? And you all already know what I think. You talk to the Father about that. Like, you allow him to lead your life and guide you in those things. But you, on a surface level, like, you know what some of the things are that you should change in your life. You know what some of your flaws are. You know what some of your inadequacies are. And if there are some things that you want to change, do not wait. Start today. Today. Today is a good day to start. Don't wait. Why wait? Get it done now. Start creating a plan in order to change those things that you do not like about yourself, or set some goals. And remember, we said you cannot achieve those goals if you do not have a plan. You cannot achieve those goals if you don't have a vision. In the Bible, it says, write the vision, make it plain. I'm still kind of trying to work on that plain part. Write the vision, make it plain. And do know that it also can change. Like, as you grow and as you mature, you're not going to be the same person you were last year. You're not going to be the same person you were a week ago. There are some things I probably did last week that I wouldn't do this week. Growth. Don't be afraid of growing. Don't be afraid of changing your mindset, because some of those things that you may have learned just were not the truth, right? If you learn that you were a terrible person and that you suck and that, you're never going to be anything when you grow up and you're not good, all those things are lies. They're distractions, and you need to change your narrative. And I heard somebody talking about reframing. You need to reframe it. You can become the person that you want to be. You can. It may take some work. It may take some tears, but you can become that individual that you want to be. Hey, soul sister, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. Other people's opinions. Let's see. Other people's opinions don't pay your bills, right? And what others eat won't make you. Good morning from the bush people. Oh, thank you for being in the bush. How is it over there in the bushes? I hope it's nice and cozy over there for you all. Take a snack over there with you and just stay a little while. Mr. Terry said 80% of life is not what happens, but how you react. 80% of life is not what happens, but how you react. You say 80%, Mr. Terry? I wonder. I wonder if it's 80%. I'm going to figure it out. And you said the other 20 is beyond your control. How you react to a situation can be just as deadly as the situation itself. Let me see. Hmm. Okay, let's see. I just want to see something real quick. And I'm glad I'm sitting by my desktop because I really like to know. When I see you all put stuff in there, I really am curious about the answers to some of the things. And it says how you react to a situation can be just as deadly as the situation itself. Now, that is true. That's why I said you have to control your reactions. Sometimes you may want to tell somebody off. You might want to smack that person. But can you do that? There are going to be repercussions. There are going to be consequences to your actions. So you cannot just haul off and go off on everybody. You can't just haul off and hit somebody just because you want to do it. You keep your hands to yourself. And also, sometimes you got to tame that mouth, right? That's the hard part for some of us. Sometimes you just got to thank God for the Holy Spirit. I'm telling you, because there have definitely been times where I wanted to go off on somebody and say something, and I knew I could. I knew I had the proper vocabulary to be able to handle that situation, and I could have shut them down, all the way down. But if you have that thing called the Holy Spirit, it's not going to allow you to just haul off, and it's not going to allow you to just say whatever it is that comes to your mind and say it. No, it's going to tame that tongue. It's going to tame your tongue, and you're going to close that mouth. Trust me. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. I've been there. I don't even talk about anything on this channel unless it's something that I've experienced, something I've maybe even experienced from a distance, or a lot of other things is just, I like to read different things and different perspectives about why people do the things that they do and why you react certain ways and why this happened, why that happened. Basically, I just like to learn new things. Some of you love to learn new things. So also in your learning, as you mature, as you get older, you figure it out and you're like, hey, I can't do some of those foolish things I did when I was younger. If you do some things when you're younger, you're young. Some of those things you're just going to do because you're curious. You don't know anybody. You don't have the experience to back it and to say, hey, you shouldn't do that. Hey, maybe you don't want to touch this. Maybe you don't want to go over there with that person. Maybe you should get out of that area, right? Maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you shouldn't do that. But as you get older, you should be thinking and making different choices. And that goes along with controlling yourself, right? Some of us, some of you, some, I'll just say some, have a temper. If you have a temper, that temper will get you in trouble, right? I'm just using that for an example. That is not the only thing, but I'm just saying if it's something that you acknowledge in your life that you need to change to become a better human being, then you might want to get on top of that. Geeky girls, hey, you silly. You still looking like Jasmine Guy. You gonna make me want to go watch A Different World. Hey everyone, that's from OG Brand. I'm Betty J. He's talking to hey everybody. If you're happy, clap your hands. Hey, please support me. Geeky girls, I love Popeye's chicken. A chocolate biscuit. I don't know how I feel about that, OG Brand. I don't want a chocolate biscuit. Maybe just butter on it, not chocolate. I think that should be left in the candy aisle. Geeky girls, did you watch the cartoon? Not this morning. I missed it. I did watch the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. I did see that. Cute sister, please help me. J3, hey, you silly. Geeky girls, give me some water wave hair. You can have some here. Here you go. Here you go, OG. Geeky Girls Journal, I say it all the time. I can't be around a person wants to simply exist. I must live my life. I don't want to be an old man looming in the mirror asking the question, where did the time go? Absolutely, me either. I have life in me. I don't want to be one of those people that's like, man, 1 year passed, 2 year passed, 3 years passed, and I'm still in the same boat. I don't want to be that person. I want to grow every day. I want to do something different. I want to learn something new, something that's going to help me to get to that person that God is creating me to be. I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to live with regrets. I don't want to be stuck. You know what? In fact, when I recognize I'm stuck, sometimes I do. I'm like, man, no, I can't. I can't exist here. I gotta go. I have to move forward. I am Indian girl. Namaste. Hello, everyone in the chat. Hey, J3, you still hanging out? Hey, Miss V. How you doing, Miss V? Geeky Girls, we'll see you all later. Got to go on the road. Oh, see you. Have a good trip, J3. I'm going to let you all go right now, actually. Thank you all for coming in. I appreciate you hanging out with me this morning. Um, I don't know. Like I said, if you are one of those people who feels like you need to be validated, change it. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react. Ooh, that's even higher than what you said, Mr. Terry. How you react. It's a quote by Charles R. Swindoll. He's a pastor and an author. Okay. All right. Well, you all, thank you for hanging out. I will see you all in the next video. I'm still working on watch hours if you wanted to know. And I'll be here tomorrow, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check me out if you had the time. Come on over and let's engage. Let's have a conversation. What's the topic going to be about? Guess we'll find out tomorrow. All right. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. Thank you for coming in. Blessings, sis. Bye, soil sister. I'm glad you came out of the bushes and said hi. I appreciate it. All right. Have a good rest of your day. See you all tomorrow.